Eastern Oregon. Out here, the wind takes its own course, just like the people. Truth comes at you hard, and lessons come early. Waste nothing. Build it yourself. Help your neighbor. When you're willing to do the hard work first, anything is possible. I remember the man, Bill Bowerman. He and I got expelled from Medford High School for brawling. The guy loved a good fight. I guess that's where it all started. The school superintendent gave Bill some hard news that day. You're either going to straighten up or you'll die on some barroom floor. Worse than that, your inglorious fate will embarrass your mother for the rest of her days. That's all Bill needed to hear. He stopped fighting, started reading, and discovered sports. He wasn't fast, and he wasn't big, but he was ornery, and he loved to win. Went to the University of Oregon, ran track, made the football team as a single-wing quarterback. Played defense, too. To play defense, he said, you have to like the taste of your own blood. And he did. He was always smarter than he was fast. That's something his track coach, Bill Hayward, noticed right off. They called Hayward Colonel Bill on account of he was such a hard ass. He was also an innovator. He used ideas like motion studies and biomechanics. Hayward knew how to take everyday Joes and turn them into champions. This inspired Bowerman. He would do what Hayward did. He would stay in sports, but not as a coach. He hated that word. He would be a teacher of athletes. Bowerman returned to Medford and married his high school sweetheart, Barbara. These were good times, but life during the Depression was tough. It was about to get a lot tougher. I remember the man, Bill Bowerman. In World War II, we found ourselves dodging shells in the Dolomites of Italy. But you can't dodge them all. I got hit. Could have gone either way. But then Bill found me stranded at an aid station. Threw me in a Jeep and drove cross-country under enemy fire to get me to an Army surgeon. Saved my life that day. In the spring of 1945, Bowerman confronted a German general with a simple choice: engage or disarm. Bowerman negotiated the surrender of 4,000 German troops without so much as a pistol at his side. A few days later, the war was over. Bowerman left the Army with a Bronze Star and a Silver Star. They give you those for courage and gallantry in battle. Bill didn't talk much about the war after that. I remember the man, Bill Bowerman. He's why I went to the University of Oregon. If you were a track athlete, there was no other place to be. We came from Coos Bay, Medford, from Seattle, Oslo, and Toronto. We were on a pilgrimage to Tracktown. Bowerman occupied an unnatural space. He always looked bigger than his size. His eyes were an impossible blue, hands like great dry paws, and never a word wasted. There was no need or opportunity for debate. Life with Bowerman was simple. You would study, you would train, you would compete as a team. And if you prepared your best and ran your hardest, victory would be yours. He was right. Some coaches specialize in one event. Not Bowerman. He taught them all. But mostly, he made us all better men. Simple as that. Bowerman's specialty was athletes. But for all his certainty, you never knew what to expect. One fella came back from the dentist and got called over by Bowerman. "Let me see your fillings," he said. The kid dutifully opened wide, and Bowerman dropped an earthworm into his mouth. Other guys received neatly wrapped packages of elephant dung that Bowerman had retrieved from the circus. One day he even fired off a gun in a hotel lobby. After every prank, Bowerman would flash that big piano key smile and roar with laughter. We loved him for it. Eventually. What little time he had to himself, he spent crafting shoes, testing leathers, making running shorts out of parachute cloth. He believed everything could be lighter, always lighter. When he got tired of poking holes in the cinder track to drain the rainwater, he invented the artificial track surface. He never got anything right on the first try, and he didn't care. He had absolutely no fear of failure. He considered it a blessing, so long as you learned from it. That's what Bowerman did, over and over and over. He wasn't after perfection, he was after performance. In 1962, Bowerman took his athletes to compete in New Zealand. One day on a run with local townspeople, he got passed by a 74-year-old man who had survived 3 heart attacks. For the next 6 weeks, Bowerman jogged with his new friends. He returned to Oregon 5 inches thinner, 25 pounds lighter, and inspired to get Americans off their duffs and onto the roads and trails. He put everything he knew about fitness into a running book called Jogging, and running went boom. That was Bowerman's magic. He was a master of human potential. In 24 years, he trained 31 Olympians, 51 All-Americans, and 12 American record holders. 24 guys became NC2A champions. 16 ran sub-4-minute miles, and the University of Oregon won 4 national titles. We won because he made us better than we were. We competed against athletes who were stronger and faster, and we beat them. He had everything to do with our success and never took the credit he deserved. More than any medal or title, we craved his approval. He was a giant. He still is. I remember the man, Bill Bowerman. He co-founded our company with nothing more than a good idea and a handshake, and that was enough. Every shoe we design, every store we open, every shirt we build, every story we tell, every race we win, it all connects to him. You all connect to him. Bowerman liked to challenge you with the truth. In a letter to his fellow Nike board members, he once wrote, "I have just reviewed the most recent tennis shoe. I respectfully call it the shit shoe." He followed up by resigning from the board. No big deal. Bowerman resigned a total of 31 times, but he never quit. We live and work in a complex world. Digital this, and cultural that. We customize our products online, upload global stories in the wink of an eye. We watch our greatest athletes compete in real time on the other side of the planet. And nobody is better at this stuff than Nike. So the next time somebody asks you, how does Nike do it? You tell them the question isn't how, but who. That rare man who comes into this life and never leaves. Innovative, cagey, courageous, builder man.
He made me better. He made Nike the company that it is today.
And Bill used to always tell us that we're not going to focus on your weaknesses. We're going to build on your strengths.
One of the major regrets of my life is that I never had a chance as an athlete to be coached by Bill Bowerman.
Bill would come up to me and said, if you're going to be a leader, you need to know where you're going.
Without him, there is no me.